3 states away, 8 hours away from here, 10 from home. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited for the change. I really am. But it's not going to be here. I'm going to really miss you guys.
We'll be missing a little piece of us, but
y'all can call me. I'll answer.
Yeah, but it's that's just how the nature of the beast in these smaller markets. But we always miss our people, and big well wishes for you. We're super excited for you.
Thank you.
So have a good last day. I'm gonna go back to the station, or well, back to the set. But yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Brennan.
Yeah, congratulations to Maya. Sad to see her go, but always cool to kind of see our reporters and anchors and whoever it is start at our station and kind of, I don't want to say grow up, but kind of like take what they've learned and head off onto a new adventure. That's kind of the news business. You're always on the move, quite literally.
Yeah, I got my steps in and my heartbeat up for the day. But so, a lot of people always question why these smaller markets have such a turnaround, and it's like we're a training market. We get our people straight out of college, and we train them, and they learn the ropes of the business. I'm still out of breath.
And then they kind of go off and do other things. And that's one of the cool things I always say about working in the news industry is that you do get the opportunity to go so many places and move places that you've never been. Maya mentioned she's going to be 10 hours away from home. That's kind of one of the things is you pick up and you move. And really, it's the people like you at home that kind of make that adventure really special and unique to everyone who works in news, to where sometimes we're from the area that we get to work in, and sometimes we're completely not and don't know anything. And it's always nice whenever you guys are willing to kind of open us with open arms and welcome you into your community. And we kind of make it a little place of home. And while a lot of the times folks do leave the news industry and leave the area where they've been, you still kind of take a piece with you. I know I worked in Nebraska for 3 years and I still love that place and enjoy it so much, and still go back and visit sometimes, just as some of the friends and really kind of family that I made there. So I'm sure that'll be a similar case with Maya, and a similar case for a lot of the folks that eventually do leave here sometimes and kind of go off to different things. You still hold a place in their hearts, don't worry.
You do. So I went and worked in Lake Charles at that station there for a few years to kind of learn the ropes, so I could come back home and have a little bit of experience under my belt. And so I go over there and I go and see my friends, and I love that area. And you get to you really love the community that you work for. And so but you're relatively from the area. I mean,
kind of,
Houston area.
Yeah, so not too far.
And I'm from here, so we're just we're chilling at home.
Yeah.
So whatever the situation is, news is hard. It's a hard job, but what makes it extremely hard is that there is such a, it's a 2-year contract, 3-year contract. It's always a small amount of time.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of your friends leave. So
yeah. So, but we're staying. Don't worry.
We're here.
Yeah. Here, of course, just part of ARC Southeast. We'll be sad to see Maya go. If you follow her on Facebook, first wish her well, and you can keep up with her with everything that she does in the future. I know we will be. So, of course, Maya is still doing a story today. The news never stops, right? It keeps going. So she's headed to Port Arthur. And that's one of the stories that we'll be covering today. But do want to take a look also at some of the local headlines, just in case you missed something, and get you updated there. A man is facing the possibility of up to life in prison after kidnapping a Beaumont attorney. We'll have all the details on what we know of that next.
Plus, a search is underway for the men who held up the drivers of a Brinks truck in Orange County.
And a family is preparing to say goodbye to their daughter after many questions and lots of coverage on the unusual case here. So we'll talk more about that in just a little bit. But we do start with a Mid-County man out of jail, free on a $100,000 bond on child porn charges.
43-year-old Joshua Curtis of Groves is charged with first-degree child pornography. Investigators say they found 500 images containing child pornography during a Texas Attorney General's investigation that began in July and continued through October. When officers searched Curtis's home, they found the images on his cell phone. Magistrate Mark DeRuin tells us he must not use any electronic devices with access to the web.
Well, a man is preparing to begin a long prison sentence for a brutal crime that claimed the life of his girlfriend, a young mother of 3 in Jasper County. During a court hearing yesterday at the Jasper County Courthouse, 24-year-old William Thomas pled guilty to murdering Rosalind Lewis, also 24, by beating her to death with a hammer. The judge sentencing Thomas to 60 years in the Texas prison system. Police say Thomas struck Lewis a number of times in the head last November at an apartment complex in Jasper.
Fox 4 News has learned the Vidor Police Department is investigating a former Vidor ISD employee. Police Chief Rod Carroll tells us the investigation is ongoing. He isn't revealing the nature of the allegations. A spokesman for the school district tells Fox 4 the staff member left on his own. The district also isn't addressing the nature of the allegations, but says it's working with Vidor PD.
Well, the search is underway for men who held up the drive of a Brinks truck in Orange County. The driver of the armored vehicle was robbed Wednesday night at the Wellspring Credit Union on Highway 12 in Mauriceville. Detective Colton Havard with the Orange County Sheriff's Office tells Fox 4 that the thieves left in a white Jeep Wagoneer with Florida plates. Investigators later found the SUV on Lynn Drive in Mauriceville, but the men had already switched vehicles and left.
A man is facing the possibility of up to life in prison for kidnapping a longtime Beaumont attorney.
Now, Wednesday in federal court, 79-year-old Putnam Richardson pled guilty to kidnapping and brandishing a firearm. He confronted attorney Mel Shalander, holding him against his will, keeping him chained inside of a shed.
Richardson kidnapped Shalander at gunpoint on July 15th outside his law firm on 4th Street in Beaumont. Richardson then drove Shalander to his property in Orange and held him captive for 2 days, demanding a $1 million ransom for his return, threatening to kill the attorney if Richardson didn't get the money. The FBI key in his rescue and the arrest of Richardson. Beaumont City Councilman Mike Getz is a longtime friend of Mel Shalander's.
Now, the motive tied to a case back in 1985, Shalander represented Richardson when he was charged with kidnapping a woman who worked at an old department store at Parkdale Mall. When Richardson is sentenced for this 2024 crime, he does face up to life in federal prison.
Family members with lingering, upsetting questions about their daughter's death are preparing to say their final goodbye. Funeral expenses are set for Kaylana Turner. Visitation has been set for tonight from 6 to 9 at the Woodcrest Methodist Church off Highway 96 in Lumberton. Funeral services will be Saturday morning at 10, also at Woodcrest. Now, I talked to Kaylana's family yesterday, and they said this is going to be a celebration of life with a carnival theme. They're going to have Little Debbie cakes, celebrating everything that she was and how they want people to remember Kay.
And Kaylana went missing in March of last year. There was an encounter with Harris County deputies whenever she drove away from an area near Tomball. Her remains were found in April. Now, Turner's parents and family upset with how the deputies handled the case.
Her disappearance and death, the focus of attention across Southeast Texas and even the state. Family members holding up signs earlier this year pleading for the governor's office and other state leaders to get involved. They still question the actions of the Harris County Sheriff's Office and others in their investigation.
While a family suffering a devastating loss is reaching out for support, a man whose wife lost her grandparents, uncle, and cousin to a raging fire is asking Fox 4 to share their plea for help.
The Hardesty family trapped inside a home engulfed in flames early in the morning late last Sunday in Sulphur, Louisiana. The victims asleep, unable to get out, burned so badly it took weeks to officially identify them. Jason says he drove over to the home with his wife, telling us there are no words to describe the pain his family has endured.
Now, they set up a GoFundMe to help plan 4 funerals. Jason calls the effort Rebuild and Remember Hardesty Family Fire Tragedy. He shared family photos with Fox 4 and memories of the lives lost. His wife says her grandparents were God-fearing, generous, kind, and loving people. Her uncle loved his children with everything he had. They were his pride and joy. Her cousin, more like a brother with a smile and laugh that were contagious. You go to fox4beaumont.com for a link to the GoFundMe account.
It's a search for solutions to a smelly issue, sewage backing up inside the home of an elderly couple in Beaumont North End.
Sheridan Jefferson says she's lived on Lufkin Street for 40 years. For the first 20, there were no issues, but the last 20 years is a different story. Ms. Jefferson says after heavy rain, the toilets wouldn't flush. In the last 4 years, the toilets in the home began filling up with sewage water after any rain. She says sometimes they've had to scoop the water out of the toilet themselves to avoid it spilling over. Jefferson says the response from the city is always the same, that the pipes are old, that it'll take a while, and they're working on it. But she says it's time to take action instead of letting a third decade pass dealing with the same problem.
We reached out to the city's water utilities director, Mark Harris, for more information about why this happens and when solutions can be expected. The city's communications department says Harris will need to update council before speaking with the media. And again, in the city of Beaumont, they're reporting 439 homeless people living in the city right now. That's double the amount from last year. Christopher Robertson, the executive director of Some Other Place, attributes the increase to more people falling on hard times and the cost of living getting more expensive. The nonprofit is also feeling the impacts of increased homelessness as it spends more money to feed around 300 people each day. Robertson says there's no one-size-fits-all solution for homelessness, but the nonprofit provides resources to help the homeless get back on their feet.
Well, the city of Beaumont kicking off new plans for 2025. The theme yesterday was Catch the Vision. It was basically a citywide pep rally. Mayor Roy West giving his State of the City address at the Beaumont Civic Center to a crowd complete with cheerleaders and marching band, as you see there. Beaumont United, Westbrook, Kelly, and Lamar all represented. Mayor West donning a Letterman's jacket and keeping with the football theme, said the city's vision is, of course, to win. Mayor also highlighted the importance of infrastructure improvements and economic opportunities. So it looked like it was a lot of fun.
I know.
They were having a good time.
Lots of good information to be had there. So
there you go. Well, still to come this morning, Carly Stansbury is here to talk about the Christmas Candlelight Tour. Stay with us.
Well, Thanksgiving is less than a week away, but we're going to be talking about Christmas today. So we are joined by Carly Stansbury to talk about the Christmas Candlelight Tour and Vintage Holiday and Christmas Market. So two different events going on. So let's talk about the first one.
So the first one is the Christmas Candlelight Tour at the John J. French Museum. This will be on December 7th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. It's our classic holiday event at the John J. French Museum. So basically we decorate the home as if the French family, as the French family would have decorated the home. We put a lot of pine boughs and garland and a real Christmas tree inside the museum. And then we put candles throughout. So it gives a kind of a warm, cozy ambiance, but guests are able to take a tour of the bottom floor of the home. And then you can also take a caroling hayride that would take you through the grounds. We will also have actually a craft that we normally do for kids, but we're able to open it up to anybody who wants to partake in it. So that'll be in our Heritage Hall event space. We'll also have cookies, wassail, and then the main feature of the event will be the Apostolic Church of Beaumont's choir performing from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. So yeah, really excited about that.
So it definitely gets into kind of the Christmas spirit and everything. And I'd have to assume kind of a unique experience, even for folks who have been to the John Jay French Museum, gives it a bit of a different look.
Yeah. So, and this event, as with any of our events, serve as a fundraiser for the care and maintenance of the John Jay French Museum. So there is an admission charge to this event. It's $5 for everyone ages 5 and up. And we are grateful to A&A Equipment and Beaumont Tractor for helping us bring this event back this year. But yes, perfect event for celebrating Christmas and making memories with your family, but also, supporting local history.
Yeah, I was going to say kind of learning a little bit about the places where you live, right, across Southeast Texas, which is always fun and a little bit unique.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people tell us when they come to our events or come for tours is they say, oh, I never knew y'all were back here. And so, we want to get the word out about being there, but also, having fun events like the Christmas Candlelight
I'm pretty sure
Tour.
I'm one of those people that said that. So we've taken a trip out there and talk to y'all for our living history segment. And there is a lot to see and some really cool history right here in Beaumont.
Yes.
So good deal. Okay, so we got one, and then we have another, and look how pretty it looks all dressed up.
Wow.
For Christmas.
I was going to say, kind of go all out for it. Makes it beautiful for this time of year.
And the Christmas decorations are going to be like what you would see during that time.
Yes. So
Cool.
very simple and kind of things that we would have been able to get just from the grounds.
Right.
There's no lasers going on in the front like you see nowadays sometimes when people do their Christmas lights.
No Christmas lights and all of that. So
I had to make do. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's talk about the Vintage Holiday and Christmas Market.
So that event is going to be at our other museum, the Chambers House Museum. So on December 12th from 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., kind of similar to the Christmas Candlelight Tour, we will have the home decorated for Christmas. And it's really, really special because all of the decorations, like literally all of the decorations, were the Chambers families.
Oh, cool.
So it's truly a vintage holiday. We even have like their Christmas tree, their ornaments, their stockings. So guests will be able to take a tour of the bottom floor and see all those decorations. But we're also going to have a local young piano student play Mrs. Chambers' piano.
Oh, cool.
So Edith Chambers was actually a piano teacher.
Wow.
So she would be very happy to know that her piano is being used
Yeah.
by a student
Full
once
circle.
again. Yeah. So that's going to be what's happening inside the home. And then on the grounds, we'll have a children's craft. So you can stop by a table and make a paper doll with me. Adults can do it too if you would like to.
Yeah.
That would be us.
But we also have a vendor square. So if you need any last minute Christmas gifts and you like supporting local, that's the perfect chance to do it. They have all kinds of different vendors and it's fun to see.
How many vendors are you guys expecting to have?
At least 10, maybe more. So
A good variety for sure.
yes.
Wow.
We usually have people that do like crochet and knit things and the ones that put vinyl stickers on.
Oh, sure.
Cups.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which I always think those are such cool gifts to do also because you're supporting local as well. So that way, it's not from Amazon or some big box store, but you're actually getting to support sometimes your neighbors that you have no clue that they have these talents and can do stuff like that. And it's a unique gift to give someone. So it kind of makes it a little more special for them.
Right.
Which is always cool. Yeah.
Okay, so 2 great events. There's stuff for the entire family. And then we also are going to mention the Poinsettia Drive.
Yeah. So I know it's a lot that we've got.
Y'all are
going
busy.
on.
Yeah.
It's
just that time of
that
year.
final push before we get to go on our holiday break. I'm so ready. No, I love my job. But so we have the Poinsettia Drive. So that is basically, if you're going to buy a poinsettia anyway, consider buying from the Beaumont Heritage Society. And we will deliver in the greater Beaumont area. our director had said something jokingly about caroling.
Oh,
I will not partake.
Carly's like, no, that's not me.
But I mean, if you really want us to, I'm sure we could. But yeah, you
Like,
purchase a poinsettia and then the proceeds go right back into the John Jay French Museum.
Cool. Okay.
It's perfect. Yeah, be able to help locals that way they can kind of keep this historic house going, and you can enjoy it every single year. Maybe just have like the phone in your pocket and then just mouth the caroling.
Yeah.
if they
kinda
want you to carol,
turn it up pretty loud.
play and pretend it's
Maybe
you.
do like a little
There
dance.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can go with
I'd rather
something.
dance than sing. Some of us can't sing.
I'd rather do neither, but
Yeah. Here's the poinsettia. Enjoy.
That's all you signed up for.
There you go. All right. Well,
deal.
be sure, go and check it all out. We'll post more on our website too, foxfortbeaumont.com, because I know that was a lot of stuff
Yeah.
to take in. So, but it gives you plenty of stuff to do. We know, of course, this time of year is super busy. So if you're looking to find something to do, explore Southeast Texas and learn a little bit of history along the way, there you go. Plenty of options for you. Thanks, Carly, for
thank
stopping by.
you. Thank you.
So to come this morning, we've got more ARC Southeast Texas. Stay with us.
Yes, I'm here at JK Subaru here in Nederland. Joining me is Dalen Turner. He is the executive manager here. And let's talk about this. You all have been part of this for 14 years.
Yes. So Sharing the Love is a great season. We love it because we get an opportunity to give back to the community, Patrina. And let me tell you, we are so excited to have this opportunity because every customer that comes in and buys a new Subaru will donate $500 from that car transaction to their hometown charity. So we're super, super amazed and excited about it. Our whole personnel, we like to say our people make the difference. We're truly making the difference, and we appreciate it.
That's right. And $320 million you all have raised over this period of time.
So on a national level, Subaru of America has raised, by the end of this event, $320 million for charities all over the nation. And Lil JK Subaru in Nederland, Texas have had the pleasure of actually raising locally almost $100,000 for charities. But for United Way specifically, over the last 3 years, we've raised nearly $50,000. So we're looking to try to double that actually this year. And I'm very excited about that.
That is wonderful. And I'm also here with Karen Husbands. She is the CEO and president of the local United Way here, along with Lori Higgins with Ray Financial. And talk about how Ray Financial is getting into this as well.
Oh, absolutely. We're super excited to be part of this promotion. So any vehicle that you purchase here at JK Subaru and finance with Ray Financial, we will also add $250 additional to the already amazing donation from JK Subaru. So for a total of $750 towards our local charity, United Way, for vehicles that are financed with Ray Financial here at JK Subaru.
And I know you must be so excited about this, Karen. You and I have talked about just how amazing it is to just get donations, period, especially during a time when so many Southeast Texans are trying to determine who to give their money to. But this is just a great event for this.
It's amazing. We need donations year round, but especially during the holiday season. And to be able to partner with such amazing local businesses like JK Subaru and Ray Financial, United Way supports 20 local nonprofits. And the money that is raised in our community stays here to support agencies like Nutrition Services for Seniors, the Salvation Army, Women and Children Shelter, agencies that have boots on the ground and are impacting people in need every single day.
And you all received $20,000 last year.
Yes, and we are amazed that so many groups have come together this year to support such a wonderful cause. And we believe in our community, and we are never surprised at their generosity.
That is fantastic. So for those who want to come out and get a vehicle today, tell us where they need to come and what are your hours?
So 1600 Highway 69, Nederland, Texas, right across from Jack Brooks Airport. And our hours for sales are from 9 to 7, or as long as you need us to be here. For service, you can actually service your vehicle and donate to the charity as well. Come in at 7:30 a.m. and we'll stay open until 5:30 p.m. So we're excited about that as well.
And ironically, Subaru, tell us what Subaru means.
So the word Subaru in Japanese means to unite. And so it was only natural that United Way and JK Subaru tag team with an event like this. So we're united as a united front and a united community to give back to our community.
Outstanding. Thank you all for being with us this morning. So yes, come out to JK Subaru here in Nederland and they will take care of you. Just know that when you purchase a vehicle, the portion of that money will go to a fantastic cause. United Way's 20 different charities that they support. Guys, back to you.
Celebrating Creole culture. I was waiting on some music or something there. That's the theme of the exhibit at the Museum of the Gulf Coast.
Yeah, it showcases the work of a Port Arthur native capturing the history of the Zydeco music we know today. Here's more in this week's Living History.
What we have in here are the collected photographs of a lady named Rita Emanuel. She is a Port Arthur resident, and she and her husband Pete attended Zydeco festivals for 45 years. What makes her unique is that she was actually photographing what she was seeing. She also had unique access to the musicians because she knew several of them, and she was often successful in getting on stage or getting backstage. So we have someone who knew that Zydeco was exploding worldwide, knew that it was important, and was picking up her camera for 45 years and taking photos. Mr. Chenier was an employee at the Gulf Refinery here in Port Arthur, and he was playing his accordion at lunch, and he started getting tips, and he started making more money with the tips than he was with his salary, so he decided to go professional. And we kind of think of him as really making Zydeco music the phenomena that it is today.
Zydeco memories, past and present, will be on display in the Dunn Gallery at the Museum of the Gulf Coast until December 28th. The museum is located in Port Arthur and is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Saturday. So there was so much to see there. It was really, really cool, and I'd never been.
I know, yeah.
So for our next 2 weeks of Living History, we're going to be highlighting some of the stuff that you'll find at this museum. It's truly an asset to its community.
Yeah.
There's lots of people that I had no idea started here. Specifically the, can't think of her last name, Evelyn Fisher, is that her name? She was Rose's mom in the Titanic.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then Sue Ellen off of Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
I don't know if you've ever seen
Wow,
that.
yeah.
Anyways, it's one of the
Long time
sisters.
ago, yeah.
Yeah. So big names, of course, Janis Joplin.
Right.
And then we have lots of sports people. We've got a lot of history, a lot of talent here in Southeast Texas.
Yeah.
And lots of events coming up. And they're actually having an event tonight at the Museum of the Gulf
Oh.
Coast. We'll talk about that later, though.
That's one place I have not been, and I know people say all the time, like, that needs to be a place to go because there's
Right.
so much to see there and so much to learn. It's on my to-do list. I just need to make sure that I get to it at some point, and hopefully soon, because yeah, there's so many things that you would never know.
I know there is, and one of the coolest things that was in the museum to me, I don't know why I found this so fascinating, but I think lighthouses are so cool.
Oh yeah.
Like the idea of there being like this structure in the middle of
Mhm.
the ocean with like all these like waves that you see, which maybe that's a misconception.
Yeah.
But that to me is just really cool and also really scary at the same time. But they have from one of the lighthouses like the actual light that was on top of it. Yeah, or like
Huge, huh?
like the light and the thing that goes around it.
Right.
I don't know the terms for
I
this,
don't know.
but yeah, so it's huge. It's really cool. And then they give you the history, of course, of the lighthouse. So
Oh, that's neat.
lots to see. And they have so many different exhibits. I could go on and on. So you should go. And then we'll talk about that event that you can actually go to tonight a little bit later in the show.
Yeah, there you go. And we'll have a list of everything going on this
Mhm.
weekend too, so you can go check it all out. And you know what else is going on this weekend? Wicked is hitting the big screen. After the break, we'll preview the movies that are hitting the box office. Well, it is a big weekend, to say the least, at the movies, with both Wicked and Gladiator 2 heading to the big screen. We preview both films and take a look at whether this is the new Barbenheimer at the box office. Here's Fox's Ashley Dvorkin.
You fight or you die.
A sequel and a musical, arena battles and Broadway ballads. It's time for Gladiator 2 and Wicked, aka Glicked.
You're great.
Three-time Tony-winning musical Wicked is bound to be popular with its longtime fans, as it defies gravity to top the box office. The film adaptation, directed by John M. Chu, stars Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande. The Wizard of Oz backstory is about the friendship between Elphaba and Galinda, who become the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good. It's part one of 2 films, so consider the ending intermission.
Strength to none.
Return to Rome 24 years later with Ridley Scott. The filmmaker follows up Gladiator with an equally epic part 2, starring Paul Mescal, Pedro Pascal, Denzel Washington, and Connie Nielsen. Mescal stars as Lucius in the Colosseum years after witnessing the death of Maximus, tapping into his strength to return Rome to its people.
Don't be afraid.
Early box office projections have Warner Brothers Pictures' PG family-friendly Wicked earning a $100 million debut, placing it number 1 with the R-rated action-packed Gladiator 2 expected to follow in second place. Both may also make their way into awards season. The combo of these 2 highly anticipated, very different films is reminiscent of last year's Barbenheimer.
For the glory of Rome.
The movies could make a fun double feature too, though a long one, with Wicked and Gladiator 2, both around 2.5 hours long. In Hollywood, Ashley Dvorkin, Fox News.
And if you're looking forward to belting out the Defying Gravity while watching Wicked, you better think again. AMC Theaters says the best way to remain popular is to remain quiet. The movie channel will reportedly play a 30-second advisory before the film, reminding moviegoers that silence is golden. According to the ad, that includes no singing and no wailing. However, fans will possibly be able to channel their inner Elphaba and Glinda next month. That is when sing-along screenings of Wicked will be offered in roughly 1,000 theaters starting on Christmas Day. Part 1 of the film hits theaters today, and part 2 will open next November.
Wait, okay. I didn't realize there was another part.
First of all, yeah, okay, I found this out very recently, and I was like, what? I don't feel like anyone's talking about that.
That was
there's 2 parts.
Authentic reaction there, by the way.
Next November is crazy.
Okay, there's
A
other
full
stuff that I'm
year?
waiting on that like I can't get over. So like we're taking deep dive here. Stranger Things, that's been years.
Oh yeah.
So
I know.
I don't care about this. There's other things that I'm like, really?
But a year? I mean, I guess that's
gotta make it.
I know it's realistic, obviously, but did there really need to be a part 2? They couldn't get it all in one?
Well, maybe this
don't
is
know.
like
I've
an
never seen Wicked.
extension of the original story. I don't really know. I'm actually going to see it next Friday.
Are you?
Family, but
Well, don't sing.
I'm not a singer, but this so going back to the fact that like I love the original Wizard of Oz. Like I've
Mhm.
always been into that movie. That
Yeah.
was just kind of like one of my favorite movies growing up. It's always been a thing. And so several years back, for one of the anniversaries, they were playing Wizard of Oz here at Tinseltown and Beaumont.
Mhm.
And so we went. My mom brought us all and whatnot. And the entire movie, everybody sang.
Oh.
And my mom was so mad. She's like, I can't even enjoy the movie because everyone's singing. So it made me laugh because I hadn't seen that they were
Yeah.
actually like putting a disclosure that you don't need to sing. It's funny
Ooh,
that they're
okay.
anticipating that.
I go back and forth on this because when I went and saw the Taylor Swift Eras Tour
Mhm.
movie in the theaters, everyone was singing and it was so much fun and had such a good time. But I guess that's different. That's a concert film, right? Like for this, like I don't think I would want, like I want to hear them.
I'm not
Like
gonna
for
ever
that, like
sing
people were
anyways.
standing up at the Eras Tour film, like and like
Yeah.
dancing and like singing along. And it was so much fun. It was like you were at the concert essentially. But again, that's a concert vibe
Yeah.
and like the concert feel, not like a movie musical.
I went to a concert film here in Beaumont last year. I'm not going to tell you who it is because you make fun of me. No,
Oh.
I'm not going to say, but you make fun of me. But that was not. We had a really
Well,
good
it's not a
time, and it was
concert
really,
film.
it was really good. But nobody was like up and dancing and singing. So I guess this is a different. It's definitely a different group of. We're not Swifties. This group. I'm not going to tell you on TV. It's. Maybe I am a little embarrassed. Anyways.
Okay. Well, I'm curious. Just tell them.
No, I'm not gonna know.
Okay, fine. I won't push
No,
you.
I'm
I won't push you.
embarrassed.
Okay, that's okay. So don't sing if you go to the movies. Save it for the
Long
car
story
ride
short.
after. There you go. Well, still to come this morning, a local charity is helping families in our area dealing with food insecurity. We'll tell you about the Salvation Army in Orange, their Thanksgiving distribution next.
The holidays can be a tough time for families in our area dealing with food insecurity, especially with Thanksgiving Day around the corner.
But yesterday, a group of Southeast Texans teamed up to fill a need. The Salvation Army in Orange hosted its Thanksgiving food distribution on MLK Drive. Drivers were able to roll through while volunteers loaded up their cars with boxes of Thanksgiving Day meals. Each box included a turkey, of course, with some side dishes like mac and cheese and stuffing. Yesterday's Turkey Day giveaway was a community-wide effort. The Salvation Army partnered with Entergy and Chevron Phillips to help hundreds of families have a nice holiday meal.
Sometimes it's really good just to help out and provide a little bit extra when you can. And the holidays do bring on extra stress for people. And we figured this was a good way to give back to folks here in Orange County.
In total, 500 turkeys were handed out to families. That's one of the great things I think about not just Southeast Texas, but the holidays in general, right? Folks coming together to help each other out. We've been talking so much recently about the fact that inflation has hit everyone really hard, and going to the grocery store and trying to make a meal for God knows how many people you got going to your house can definitely be a little bit difficult. So the fact that there are so many different options around Southeast Texas that you can go get that meal for free is pretty incredible. And I think that, well, it kind of speaks volumes to the volunteers that kind of help out with it, and also the businesses around Southeast Texas that chip in some funds to make it all happen, because it takes a village sometimes, right?
Yeah, right. And a lot of our local businesses or our local industries especially will donate, pretty good bits of money, especially around holidays. And that's always good to see. So there's stuff like this happening throughout Southeast Texas. I've seen several different posts on Facebook with people saying like, hey, we're going to have this. If you need something, come by. Giving out food and toys closer to the holiday or Christmas. People asking, now trying to get prepared for Christmas because, that need never goes away.
No, never. And it also kind of helps into the future too. I know we talk about Toy Feast a lot, which is a thing we do every year on the morning show. And it's not just about toys, but also foods. And you get those donations around Christmas time, but they've got to find a way a lot of times to make it work for the entire year. So the more that it gets donated, it can be used and utilized throughout the year. So whenever it's July and somebody needs some help they have it there. So, and there are still other food drives and distribution drives going on across Southeast Texas. So, we'll be talking a little bit more about some of those a little bit later. So if you missed out on that one or the ones we've talked about previously, not to worry. There are still opportunities. So we'll talk about all that. And we're going to be talking about what's coming up at noon with Patrina Adger in just a second. Well, let's go and take a look inside the newsroom and talk with KFDM's noon anchor, Patrina Adger.
Patrina, tell us what we can expect for your show today.
Happy Friday, ladies. Yes, this is what we have coming up on the news at noon. President-elect Donald Trump's sentencing for his May criminal conviction has once again been delayed. A judge ruled that today. It's the third time the sentencing has been pushed back since Trump was found guilty for his role in a cover-up of hush money payment. We'll have the latest on that coming up at noon. And then we have Carly Stansberry coming in today for our interview with the Beaumont Heritage Society. They are hosting an annual Christmas candlelight tour at the John J. French Museum. Again, Carly will be here to tell us all about that. And then, of course, we have King of the Road. All of that coming up on the news at noon in about an hour on KFDM 6.
All right. Thank you, Patrina. Good stuff there.
Yeah, lots of good stuff. Well, still some good stuff going on across Southeast Texas. We'll give you right now. Sorry.
We're giving you a rundown right now of what's going on.
Oh, it's Friday. Anyway, we are hearing about there's nothing to do in Southeast Texas. So every Friday we like to put together a list of things that you can do over the weekend. It's certainly not too late to make plans for this evening. I wish I could go to this.
Dwight Yoakam.
I know. And Gary Allan tonight at 7. Grammy Award winner Dwight Yoakam will be performing at Doggett Ford Park with multi-platinum artists Gary Allan and rising country sensation Joshua Ray Walker. You can still get tickets for tonight's show at doggettfordpark.com. And then parking for the event is $20. Go to the show. If you've never seen Gary Allan, he's awesome too.
Yeah, him and what?
Yeah, him and.
Oh, okay. You know, to be fair, like I don't even really, so, okay. Country music's not my thing. But anyways, that's a good time. You can also go to a free concert, which is what we were talking about earlier with the Museum of the Gulf Coast. Lamar University's renowned brass quintet will play from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. tonight. The opening reception starts at 6 p.m. It will include light refreshments. The performance will begin at 6:30. And of course, you have everything at the museum and what it has to offer.
Yeah, we also talked with Danya McLaurin earlier about the historic holidays on the Square Festival tomorrow. Festival's from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. There's going to be over 70 vendors, lots of stuff going on. The parade will be at 6.
Saturday from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., the Beaumont Farmers Market will be taking place at 6525 College Street. It's a great opportunity to get fresh produce and handmade goods, as well as support local businesses, which some of you have seen here on ARC.
There you go. Also, Saturday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., Good Shepherd Lutheran Church in Bridge City is hosting its Christmas Bazaar. There will be vendors selling all kinds of crafts and Christmas gifts, as well as a bake sale and gumbo sale. So we'll have our question of the day next. All right, we asked you for our question of the day. Do you have plans to go see the new Wicked movie?
Lots of you are planning on going Saturday, Thanksgiving Day. You know, that is, I've heard that's a bit of a tradition for some.
Oh,
Thanksgiving or Christmas, they'll go and watch a movie afterwards, which is a good idea because you kind of never know what to do afterwards.
Yeah.
A lot of people said they've already seen it and they said it was very good. So my hopes are high.
How did Melanie Spivey? She's already seen it twice. Wow.
See, that's what we were talking about
Oh
earlier.
my
Was
goodness.
movies come out on a specific day, but you can always like see them early for whatever reason.
That's cool. Okay, well, we hope you enjoy it. If you are going to see it, and maybe if you weren't, go check it out. I'm gonna have to go see it, and we'll see.
Yeah.
We do hope that you have a wonderful Friday and an even better weekend. Thanks for joining us.